This is the readout of the Security Council's consultations this morning on several different topics. We started off on UNDOF, which is the Golan Heights, and in my presidency capacity I can tell you that the Security Council reiterated our support for UNDOF and the 1974 Disengagement Forces Agreement. We urged all parties to adhere to the Disengagement Forces Agreement. We stressed that UNDOF should be the only military forces permitted to operate in the area of separation. The Security Council recognised UNDOF's contribution to regional stability. We welcomed UNDOF's return to the Bravo side, as well as the UN's efforts to ensure the mission's security. And finally, we recognised the value of new technology in helping keeping the force safe. And then we moved on to a series of matters under any other business, the first of which was on MINURSO, Western Sahara, and we discussed that at the request of Uruguay, and in my presidency capacity I can say that we were briefed by Under-Secretary General Hervé Lassus on the situation on the ground and the issue of full functionality of the mission. We then had a further briefing from Hervé Lassus on his final day in front of the Security Council in this role, given that he retires at the end of the week, and he gave us a briefing on his visit to Mali and to South Sudan recently. And in my national capacity, let me say that on Mali, the UK continues to express concern at the worsening security situation in Mali. All actors have a responsibility to their communities to end the fighting and engage in constructive discussions. The staff and troops of MINUSMA are doing their very best to get in increasingly difficult circumstances, but the current failure of signatory groups to implement the provisions of the peace accord threatens the stability of the country. On South Sudan, again in my national capacity, the UK continues to express grave concern at the worsening security situation there. Last week we were warned by the Secretary General to save South Sudan from falling into the abyss. Last week the UK agreed to a joint council statement which urged all sides to stop fighting and engage in an inclusive dialogue to end the suffering of its people. Hervé Lassus told us that UNMISS continues to be blocked and threatened whilst carrying out their work. 6 more humanitarian workers and their driver have been killed, as you know, taking the total kill to 79 humanitarian workers since the conflict began. And we must make sure that the government of South Sudan holds those responsible to account. And then finally, we had a discussion under any other business on Georgia at the request of Ukraine. And in my national capacity, I can say that I expressed our concern about recent developments in Georgia, including the reduction of administrative boundary line crossing points to and from Abkhazia, which affect the freedom of movement of the local population. We do not recognise the parliamentary elections that took place in Abkhazia on the 12th of March. These political developments, along with the upcoming so-called presidential elections and referendum on a change of name in South Ossetia, do not contribute towards a lasting solution to the conflicts in Abkhazia and South Ossetia. And like the majority of speakers, the UK strongly supports Georgia's sovereignty and territorial integrity, and we do not recognise claims to independence from the breakaway regions of Abkhazia and South Ossetia. There we are.
Mr. President, did you get any confirmation regarding the 2 experts from the Sanctions Committee, whether they're really confirmed killed? And is there going to be any reaction from the Council on this?
Well, while the meeting was going on, it was confirmed to us that that 2 bodies had been found, but there has not yet been confirmation of the identities of those bodies. So we have decided not to say anything until unless and until that step happens. And in the meantime, of course, our thoughts are with the families of those missing.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.